Hello, yes, hi. I'm calling regarding the RAV4 that's on sale for, I think, $30,000 MSRP. Yes. What? 40,000? 10,000 over MSRP? Are you kidding me? What? Hello, yes, I'm calling regarding the RAV4 that's listed for $30,000. What? $40,000? What's going on? I need to find this out. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Konnichiwa, ni hao, salam, namaste to all my friends all over the world. Welcome to Entrepreneur Extraordinary. I'm so glad you guys are joining. So you saw the funny video about inflation that I just did. It tells the story of what's happening in the economy right now. And the reason it's so critical, especially for people who own real estate, houses, selling a property, buying a property, living in a property, or just living their life. Inflation is very, very important, folks. And in this video today, I'm going to tell you how inflation is deflating your wealth. Deflating your wealth. Yes, you heard it right. So if that interests you, stick around to find out. So let's start by asking the question, what is inflation in simple words? Folks, inflation is nothing but simply an increase in cost of goods and services. Cost of goods and services. In simple words, as you saw in the video, you go and buy groceries, right? They're expensive. $10 for cranberries. Like, are you kidding me? That's a lot of money. $9 for cashews. Milk is like $6. Eggs are like $7. Like, what's going on? And that is inflation. Somebody has to deliver that grocery to the grocery store. That has also doubled. And if you notice, everything on Amazon has also gone up. There is a reason for that, folks, because people are realizing that everything moves a bit more slowly. Everything costs a bit more. And there are many factors to this. And in this video, I'm going to break all those down in a simplified manner so you can understand and you can save yourself some time and headache in the future, and you don't get stuck like most people do when the economy goes up and down. They lose and they get many years behind. You don't want to be behind. You want to be ahead. And if you want to be ahead, you must really listen to what I'm telling you, what I'm sharing with you about inflation. Our government right now is printing money. Where are you getting the PPP checks? Where are you getting all these loans from? That's all printed money. The government doesn't have any money. They actually owe money to other banks and to Social Security. And you can watch my other video on how much money does our government owe to the public, to Social Security, to other foreign banks, and so on and so forth. So the government has no money. In the name of Social Security, the government has taken all of your money. And guess what they've done? They have spent that money. They have spent that money frivolously, without accountability. It doesn't matter Republicans or Democrats in wars, in controlling other countries, and so on and so forth. We're in 70 different countries, folks. 70, okay? And guess what happens as a result? You have to print more money. And the point to remember here is scarcity, okay? If there's one word you can take from this video, is scarcity. What happens with scarcity is when money is scarce, as in it's not available in the economy in abundance like it is now, then its value goes up, okay? For example, let's look at the value of a dollar 10 years ago, okay? $100 in 2010 is worth $100. But 10 years later, you have to spend $125 to buy the same thing that you could have bought for $100 10 years ago. So that means your money is less now. Now, you might ask, how does it relate to real estate, AK? And let me explain to you how. You think your house values are going higher, and they are going higher by the numbers. But the amount of money you get from that house that you can use to buy another house is actually less. Think about that for a second, right? You sell your house for $100,000 more. When you go somewhere else, you have to pay $200,000 more to buy the same house. The result is net sum zero, right? And now the government is saying that inflation is transitionary. Okay, you will read in the news and the media that inflation is transitionary. But is it really transitionary? Well, nobody knows. The government is making a bet on a lot of things, including global economic factors. If everything stays the same in the economy of the world, then maybe we have a chance to recover from this inflation. But if it doesn't, then what happens? Then that printed money is also deflated now. And that's a big problem, folks. For example, in 2015, China deflated their own currency. You know why they did that? They did that because they wanted countries to buy more of their products. Okay, they want to increase the export. So they increased the business and they slowly started showing more and more growth because they had already devalued their currency by printing more money. But that was a very strategic move 10, 15 years ago. Now you can't do that because people will catch on to it. US is not devaluing their own currency for that reason. US is devaluing the currency because of COVID. Where do you think we're getting COVID vaccines from? It's not for free. Somebody's paying for that. And government is paying for that by printing more money. And that is what's causing inflation, folks. The cost of goods have also gone up, as I mentioned in my previous videos before the American resignation, where I talk about why the cost of goods is so high, because the cost of shipping, import and export is higher, right? If you hear in the news that the import-export, or what they're calling a supply chain is nothing, folks, a fancy word for import and export. Cost of goods bringing from China, India, other countries is higher now. And therefore, the cost of building houses has also doubled, right? Because the labor is also more expensive. As I explained in my other video, The Great Resignation, people don't want to go to work. This is a very big trap that the government has created for themselves. And even though the economy is good, which is great right now, if the economy tanks or even moves a little bit here and there will be a tsunami of inflation. And that's very dangerous. Think about this for a second, right? The Federal Reserve has the lowest interest rate. But guess what they're doing now? They're trying to increase those interest rates very, very slowly because they're scared as hell that the economy might tank if they increase the interest rates. Okay, but it's only a matter of time that the economy will go up and down, because economy is very cyclical, and I'm not predicting it's going to go down. The economy may go down, okay, and it will come back up. But when the economy is down, what can you do to save yourself? So here's what happens now. The money that you have in the bank, let's say you have another $100,000 or $50,000 saved up. That $50,000 is not worth $50,000 that used to be a few years ago. And if the inflation hits, if the price of cranberries in my funny video goes from $10 to $20, how are you going to feed your family? It's all signs of inflation, folks. See it around you, smell it. It's like you smell the coffee. You can smell inflation in the air right now. I'm an investor, and investors keep an eye on these kind of things. That's how rich gets richer and the poor stay the same. Inflation also hits only the middle class and the lower class, okay? The have-nots. It doesn't hit as hard for the haves because they can buy things in bulk, they can store, and they also read a lot about what's happening. They trend these things years in advance. They plan 5 years, 6 years, 10 years in advance. Most people don't do that. Most people, outsiders live month to month, paycheck to paycheck, right? So if I were you, I would keep my savings as much as possible. Buy with other people's money. Don't use your own money. That's why I keep saying cash is reserve, is safety and security, right? That's my philosophy. Credit is leverage. Leverage your credit. Put things on credit card. Gain some points. You can pay it off later if you want to. But if the economy goes up and down, at least you have some cash to fall back on. If you have gold, you can buy gold to offset inflation, okay? During times of inflation, things that are scarce, right? Scarcity, again, the key word is scarcity. Things that are scarce, like gold and silver, their value goes up, or their value at least sustains right now. Put money in real estate. Real estate is a great asset, folks, and I keep talking about it. If you're a landlord, okay, you're in luck, because real estate will sustain itself. Even if the price of house or value goes down, guess what? The rents go up because people need a place to stay. And landlords will jack up the rents because landlords also have to buy that $10, $20 cranberry box for their kids. The cost of shipping from China has doubled, and I know because I have Amazon FBA business interest, so I read those things, right? The economy is cyclical. It goes up and goes down. It's time for economy to take a little bit of dive. Even the house prices may go down a little bit. Just a prediction and observation. And when they do, you're at least ready. You have some cash in the bank. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Even if you have excess cash, doesn't mean you have more cash. You actually have less cash than you had 2 years ago because of, again, printing money, deflating the money, inflating the economy, okay? Economy is inflated, cost of goods, everything you're buying is you're paying double the price. By the way, for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm a real estate investor. I build properties, I sell properties, I buy properties, I buy notes, I rehab properties, I've built buildings and so on and so forth. So you can learn about me more on my channel. I'm a former IT person. I have a computer science degree, a master's in computer science, and I've done consulting pretty much all over the world for the top 3 consulting firms. So that's in short of who I am. My goal is to help the outsider, people who don't get invited to meetings, people whose opinions are not taken seriously, people who are not allowed to speak at work because they're devalued. And I used to be that person as well. My opinions, my ideas were always shot down by my bosses, right? So what did I do? I started my own company and I started to believe in my ideas. And you too can do that. Don't listen to anybody telling you you can't do something or your ideas are crap. Let them prove it to you. So I hope I've given you guys enough facts and things to ponder about. I hope you guys can think about these things and really make a good move and understand that these economic conditions are severe right now. They're kind of risky. So if you're investing in Bitcoin or other currencies or stock exchange and all that, just be a little careful because economy can take a spin very quickly and you just want to make sure you're covered, you have some reserves that you can fall back on. Okay, don't be too aggressive in this market, be a bit more conservative because you just never know what 2022 will bring. With that, I want to thank you for joining my channel, for subscribing. Our subscribers are growing. Leave a comment if you agree with me and my thoughts on inflation. Give me your thoughts. Tell me if I was wrong. Maybe I'm wrong and I can learn from you guys. I'm humble. I don't know everything, okay? I'm happy to learn from you. As I appreciate you. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here. So I want to thank you very much. With that, I love you all. Have a nice day. Bye now and see you in my next video. Thank you.